Welcome back to Lessons from the Front, and in today's video I'll be sharing a quick after action report of a 750 point game I played against my friend Alfred. We set up on a 3x4 foot table, scaled down to accommodate smaller armies for a bit of a tactical test, as we wanted to get the feel for playing on half-size tables for a 750 point mini tournament we wish to run next month. Knowing Alfred, I expected him to be trying something unexpected. We rolled for the mission and the dice decided we'd be playing the Seek and Destroy scoring system from page 164, opting to switch to deployment from the edges rather than from quadrants due to our shorter table edges, and playing the meeting engagement mission. The layout of the terrain created an interesting challenge for Alfred and I. There was a central ridge highlighted here in yellow, which split the battlefield in two. Neither of us would have lines of sight of each other as we moved onto the table edge, as the ridgeline was a linear high terrain piece which provided cover for anyone advancing towards it, but whoever climbed it first would gain a major advantage, leaving the opposing army exposed in the open. There was also an oasis and wooden hut on either side of the ridgeline, plus a single central oasis in the middle of the ridge. These all offered soft cover, but also outside each of the huts there was a little bit of hard cover in the form of stone garden walls. The terrain definitely influenced this game and presented some rather intriguing tactical choices for us. We both decided not to take any reserves, meaning that all our units would be moving on in turn one. Then, much to my dismay, I discovered that an Italian national rule prevented me from issuing any run orders during turn one, with all my units having to advance onto the table. I saw this as a setback, as it meant that Alfred could seize the initiative and potentially claim the ridgeline first, leaving my forces vulnerable as they approached the ridge from my side of the table. However, Alfred did the unexpected, surprising me by taking up a more defensive position, with many of his squads digging in amongst the palms of the oasis or behind the hut's stone wall. Realizing this, I decided to press forward aggressively. I timed my advance to ensure I could reach the crest of the ridge with an advance order, allowing my squads to take advantage of the ridge's cover while still being able to fire down at Alfred's units below. To safeguard my position, I held back my Mom and Harrington and anti-tank rifle team in ambush, hoping to deal with any of Alfred's squads that might rush the ridge in a bid to take the high ground. As it turned out, I was the first to climb the ridge on my left, where the regulars eliminated Alfred's sniper team that had been hiding behind a rocky outcrop at the top of the ridge.
The curse of my snipers. They're always dying.
I used my honey tank to provide suppressive fire, its main gun knocking out the Italian auto blender, and the Browning machine gun pinning its black shirts caught in the open. Alfred wisely pulled his pair of light mortars back to range in on my regulars. Unfortunately for Alfred, his mortars couldn't range in on my regulars on the top of the crest in time, and they, along with the honey tank, began racking up pins on his black shirts. At one point, Alfred was forced to rally his black shirts after they accumulated 7 pins. It was around this time that Alfred's new tactics started to unfold. His Folgore squad, armed with anti-tank grenades, made 2 separate assaults on my honey tank, and although both assaults failed to damage my honey, it showed the potential of infantry armed with anti-tank grenades. It was, however, Alfred Sahariana's anti-tank gun that finally dealt a death blow to my honey. But by then, his Folgore squad was under intense pressure. My infantry platoon commander, veteran infantry squad, regulars, and Marming Harrington all moved in and opened fire on his Fogore, reducing their number before my veteran infantry squad launched an assault of its own, wiping out the Italian paratroopers to a man, and then securing a strong position in the central oasis during their regrouping phase. In the meanwhile, I had also pushed up to the crest on my right, where my mortar team, rolling a 6 to range in, to destroy one of Alfred's light mortar teams with his very first attempt to range in. My sniper also picked off Alfred's inexperienced infantry commander, and my LMG squad, armed with 2 brain guns, took down his Sahariana. Although Alfred's teams were able to pin my troops on the right of the ridge for some time, with the sheer weight of fire now taking its toll on his squads below, Alfred realized his position was untenable and he withdrew, deciding to save his strength for the next battle. He's going to advance. Some wheel just came off. So before I go across to Alfred for a after-game chat, thank you so much for watching this intense and exciting game. I hope you've learned something from it. The terrain certainly played a crucial role in this engagement's outcome. Anyway, let's go across and have a quick chat with Alfred. Hi Alfred. Okay, so first of all, did you enjoy that game?
Yes, enjoyed. I enjoyed the game as usual.
Yeah, it was good fun, man.
Learning things.
So we learned something today about infantry assaulting tanks, right?
Yes, infantry assaulting tanks.
Right, so how does that work?
So first thing you do is when you buy the infantry unit, you have to equip them with anti-tank grenades.
All right.
So every model actually costs 2 points.
Right.
To
So for
equip
two,
them.
you have to equip the entire squad?
You have to equip the entire squad.
Right, so for a 10-man squad, if you equip them with anti-tank
you'll
grenades,
be 20 points.
20 extra points.
Extra
Okay,
points.
all right.
Yeah, but for my case, most of them are small squads, so
Right.
it's okay.
Okay, so you've equipped your squad with anti-tank grenades. How do we assault the
Then
tank?
it's on the rules. It's actually in page 144, 145.
Right.
And that basically the infantry unit will assault vehicles that are stationary
Right.
or close to stationary.
Right, so they either they either haven't moved yet.
Yeah, either they haven't moved yet,
Right.
or they have advanced,
Right.
or they are immobilized.
Okay.
Either way, or any which way, which
Right.
is considered that they are stationary.
Right. What if my vehicle has run? It's like moved.
Then
full
I
speed?
can't touch it.
All right, it's just too fast, right?
Just too fast for
Okay.
it to catch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So now the vehicle is in a position that you can assault.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you basically, if you do not have anti-tank grenades,
Yeah.
you would have to check for tank fear,
Right.
which means you have to roll a morale check
Okay.
before you can even start to assault. And if you do not have anti-tank grenades,
Right.
you roll also on the superficial damage only.
Right. I see. Okay.
Even if you done very well,
Right.
you still hit only at superficial.
Okay, but if you give your guys
Anti-tank grenades,
they become braver.
They become braver.
Right.
You don't have this tank check,
Right.
this tank fear.
Right.
They'll go in straight away to attack.
When you're assaulting, what do you need to hit the tank with?
I need to roll the number of dice for each person,
All right. Okay.
each soldier.
Right.
Roll 1 dice.
Right.
And if the tank is stationary, I
Right.
hit on a 4, 5, 6.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. And if you are advanced
Yes.
dice,
Yes.
then I only hit you on a 6.
Oh, because I'm moving a little bit.
Yes,
So it's a little
yeah.
bit harder to hit me.
Yes,
But
a
you
little
can still,
bit.
but you
I
can
still
hit
hit
me.
you. Yes.
Right. Okay.
After that,
Yes.
we will count the number of hits.
Yes.
And then you add that number of hits to a D6,
Okay.
and then that is considered the damage.
To see whether you can penetrate me. Or
Yes.
All right. So let's say, for example, you hit with 3 dice, and then you roll 4 on the single dice. That gives you 7, right? And if my side armor is say 6,
That's it.
then you've penetrated.
Yes, penetrated.
And then you test on which table. Where do you?
Then you either test on the superficial table
Right.
if you are just hitting on a superficial hit,
Right.
or you test on the actual damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alfred, my friend, I want to say thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
the
Thank
game.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
good
Thank you for the
game.
game.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.